Hello, Mari. It's great to see you.
Always great to see you.
So tell us, what have you been up to today? What have you been interested in? What is piquing your interest at GDDF this time around?
Well, I will say one of the biggest draws of GGDF is this crowd. So a lot of my time has been meeting up with old friends, making new connections, trying to see what others are doing and how that applies to our work at Bixal. As far as some of the sessions, I didn't anticipate needing to work in some of the sessions in co-creation and brainstorming, so I had to put in a little bit more effort than I was planning.
No, sitting in the back of the room.
I tried.
Better luck next time, not at this conference. Okay, so you had to put in some work, okay, but what did you get out of said work?
Sure. So I was participating, I'll forget the correct name of the session, but it was around AI and climate. And so we were in a session with IBM-led geospatial data analysts, and we were working on...
We just talked to, by the way, just came off the studio. This is perfectly timed, yes.
So participating in that session, we were able to take a look at their geospatial model and try to think through just applications in terms of early warning systems and think through the steps of who would be using this information, or who would be using the tool, rather, how they would be using it, what are the steps they would be taking for it, and then how that could be applied into the actual outcomes and the benefits for communities globally. So it was interesting to take a look at it in terms of existing applications, in terms of weather patterns and early warning systems communications for either evacuations or preparations, but then trying to think through in less developed areas how that could be leapfrogged a bit in other countries.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because I think that is a session that I'm not sure our colleagues online were able to participate in, so that in the full way that you were able to. So that's great that you were able to give a little bit of a preview. So maybe tell us what is kind of piquing your interest these days. Like what are some of the trends that you're seeing maybe here at the conference that are stretching into the work that you're doing with Bixal?
So there's this new thing called AI.
No, tell me more.
Which I know is the buzzword of the year, and everybody has been talking about it. As a trend, we at Bixal have developed an artificial intelligence and data engineering unit. One of our data engineers, Ivonne Carrillo, is here, and she's been talking about a data maturity checklist. So,
ooh, what is a data maturity? What? Oh, amazing. Okay, what is this checklist?
So the checklist, for which more details Ivonne can provide, but it's basically walking through how to assess data maturity for a company or a project or some kind of initiative. And it walks through the assessment stage and then how to advance the maturity of your data.
And why should you do this? Like what's important about doing a checklist and understanding your data maturity?
Better decision making. In short, that would be my absolute simplest answer. But you want to make sure that you have good data, that you have consistent data, that you have quality data, that you have checkpoints to assure all of these things. And if you are not able to assure your data quality and get to that level of maturity, you're going to have misinformed decisions at the end of the day.
I think that's brilliant. And what a nice, simple device. So it's a checklist, and you can essentially just kind of self-assess through it.
Walk through the checklist. There's four separate pieces to it. I need to do a bit more homework and actually speaking to it a bit more intelligently. So maybe I can listen to one of Ivonne's walkthroughs, and she does a bit of a rapid overview, basically.
And is there a way for those who are joining us online to access the checklist? Is it available somewhere on your website?
That's a great question. It's not available on our website, but is there a resource management tool that you all are offering, or some kind of way that we would be able to share with this audience?
Sounds like a really good idea. We should. I think what you could probably also do, if folks, maybe if they follow you on LinkedIn or follow Bixal, maybe you guys will post it on social media. We can probably do that too. Use the hashtag GDDF 2024.
We are using that. We have several social media posts out, and we'll make sure it's available there.
Okay, great. If you can't find it anywhere else, that's where we'll find it. Okay. Mari, thank you so much for coming.
Always a pleasure.